Hello and welcome back to BlueTube. Hope all you guys are well. And this is our second edition, although it is week 4. We started off a little bit late. We're going to be running through some championship predictions with you lovely lot. Let us know your thoughts in the comments as well. Put your predictions down there. How are you?
All right, but I was just going to say it's a real shame we didn't do the first couple of weeks because we did actually predict all the scores and we got them all right, didn't we? But we just didn't record them. But never mind.
We didn't get them all right this week. Should we go through the results then? Yeah.
Yes. Have you got them all down?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So the total, I've got. So I haven't actually ran you through. I don't think I've done it with these guys as well. The points and how we're going to do that so far. And you might disagree with me.
Might be an
how
idea.
I'm doing this. If you get the result right, but not necessarily the scoreline. Let's say if you think a game's 1-1, but it ended 2-2, still got the result, but you just haven't got the correct scoreline, you'd get a point. If you get the scoreline spot on, you get 3. Obviously, if you get it wrong, you get nothing. I think that's a fairly simple way of doing things, isn't it?
Sounds
so
good.
with that being said, last week, I don't know if you want me to run through literally every single game. I can't really
No,
be
just the
bothered.
ones that we got right.
So for me, I got the Swansea v Watford game spot on, predicted 1-1, and so it was. And for you, you got the Preston Ipswich game spot on, which finished 1-0, so you got 3 points. And I don't know if we didn't get any others spot on like that, but you got more than me by 1 game, and I think that 1 game that you got correct was Derby v Bristol. You went for 2-2 and that game obviously finished 1-1, and I went 1-0 Derby. So at the moment I'm on 6 points and you're on 7. So,
Okay, so
I mean, I'm
yeah,
not bitter.
It'll grow as we go along.
we
Won't
go
it?
along.
I'll get a lot more than you as we go.
And I'll obviously eventually win when the season's over. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go into Championship Round 4. And to kick it off, I'll kick us off if that's all right with you. We've got on Friday evening, and thank God it's on the Friday, we get a quick turnaround from our awful performance against Port Vale. We're at the King Power against Leicester City. Now, I don't think that we've seen the best of either of these teams. Do you think that would be fair to say? I don't think that we've really got out of second gear. We're struggling with the same sort of thing that we struggled with in League One. As soon as we get into the attacking third, we're just struggling to score goals. But it's very early in the day. Things can change, and I'm sure going forward we will be absolutely fine. Looking at Leicester's last game, I think that they got quite fortunate, really, to come out with the win against Charlton. From looking at the stats and watching the highlights, Charlton gave them a really good game, and it was unfortunate for me as well because I predicted them drawing that one. But anyway, away from home at the King Power, Leicester certainly aren't a team to shirk at. They've got a lot of quality and a lot of firepower. I think both sides are going to end up scoring in this one. I'm going for 1-1.
I think this is tricky, but I think Leicester are starting to fight because they have got that quality. I know there's a lot of problems off the pitch.
Yeah.
And that is a cracking result at Charlton. That is, like I said, it's a horrible place to go. Charlton is, and
We
it's
lost
a bit of
there
a fortress.
in
Yeah,
the league last season.
and Charlton could be the dark horse. He's just coming up, and like I mentioned last week with Nathan Jones. But I'm not going to dwell on it too much. Blues need to bounce back, as in Birmingham Blues. It's tough at the King Power. But I am going to go for a 2-1 Blues edging it.
Right, 2-1 Blues. I'll improve on what I did last time. I'll actually start to make notes on these this time. So you think 2-1, interesting. Next one I've got up, and I'll let you lead now. It's only fair. Middlesbrough versus Sheffield United.
Oh, that's a crunch game. It's almost, I wonder, is that classed as a derby? I know Sheffield's sort of South Yorkshire in it, and Middlesbrough not even Yorkshire now. It's Cleveland, isn't it? But still a northern derby of sorts. There's going to be some bite to it. Middlesbrough at home. Middlesbrough's been strong. Sheffield United are going to come good, I'm sure. They haven't been getting the results, have they? They lost to Millwall, I see, last week. They lost to Swansea. Tough places to go. They're going to turn it around at some point. Do you know what? I'm going to go for a score draw here. And I'm going to say it will be a 1-1 because Middlesbrough strong, but Sheffield United are going to have to push on. So 1-1.
Okay. I disagree.
Thought you might.
It's been a...
That's why you'll drop points.
no, it's why I'll gain them. Been a great start for Borough, like you say. And from a Sheffield United perspective, it's been an awful one. Really regretting getting rid of Chris Wilder as well. This Ruben Sellers, I don't know how much more time you really give him, to be honest. But like you say, you never know. Things could turn around, and football's a funny old game. It could shock both of us. You never know. Sheffield United might go out and batter Borough. Let's just see what happens. But I don't think that that's going to happen. Sheffield United lost all their games as well, by the way.
I know, yeah.
To start off. I think
But they're too good to carry on like this. I know with the management at the moment, it's all going to be a lie.
You can never be too good. I'm going for a Middlesbrough 2-0. I think it was one of the easiest ones to predict for me. No disrespect to Sheffield United fans. Hope you prove me wrong. Let's see what happens. But I'm going 2-0 to the Borough.
Fair play.
What did you say again?
1-1.
1-1. Okay, the next one that I've got on my list, I'll kick us off. QPR v Charlton. Now, QPR got absolutely wiped out against Coventry last week. And I think they'll probably be too busy still wiping the tears away from their face to even focus on this game. Probably won't be able to see what's in front of them. I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking. Ooh. They're going to want to be really, really tight at that. It's at Loftus Road. They're not going to want to...
London derby.
They're not going to want to risk even having a shot on, are they, considering what they've just been through? Of course, Charlton will feel hard done by after losing to Leicester in such a way. I don't think QPR have got what it takes. I think they're going to be really struggling with their morale, and it'll prove in the result here. I'm going for 2-1 Charlton. Sorry, QPR.
Yeah, I'm going the same way. It's going to be a bit of a game, this is. It's a London derby, as I just say. It's both teams have got to start firing, and I just think that Charlton are going to have that bit more passion. Don't know why. I've seen more of Charlton, to be honest. QPR have made some signings, and we mentioned Poku, didn't we? That Blues were after, and he chose to get there. And Kone.
Yeah, the two League One superstars.
I just think that there's I don't know. I'm just erring towards Charlton to just pinch it 1-0.
Yeah. 1-0. Okay, interesting. So next one that I've got, I'll let you lead on this again. Okay. Stoke City v West Bromwich Albion.
Right, this is going to be a humdinger of a game, isn't it? Stoke starting strong, as are West Brom. This, from memory, has always been a bit of a juicy fixture, hasn't it? Because it's not far to travel up to Stoke. And yeah, we played Stoke's neighbours the other night, Blues, didn't we?
Let's not talk about that.
We won't. Well, but both getting good wins. Both really strong. Would you say that Stoke, with the home advantage, are going to be favourites to win? Yes, you would. West Brom, though, never write them off. They're scoring plenty, but so are Stoke. It's really one of them. This is a coin toss for me. I'm going to go Stoke 2, Baggies 1. Stoke to win, just. It's probably got draw written all over it, to be fair, but I'm going Stoke.
I understand why you're saying that it's so close, but I think I'm a little bit more. I think this was easier for me. Stoke they've had such a great start. West Brom haven't had a bad start either. Looking in the cup, they've just lost to Bradford. Stoke, of course, they'll obviously have fielded a much weaker team for that fixture. But I'm thinking along the same lines as you anyway. I think it'll be a tough one away from home for West Brom. A little bit tighter I've gone. 1-0 Stoke City.
Fair play.
So let's move on to Blackburn v Norwich. This one was really tough. I feel like this one could just go either way. Norwich lost their last two, Southampton 3, Borough 2-1. They'll want to bounce back away from home. And then there's Blackburn, on the other hand, beating a poor Hull City side 3-0. It really could go either way, but I think Norwich will just edge it away from home. I've gone 2-1 Norwich.
Yeah, they've got it in them, Norwich, haven't they, to do it, and away from home. It's a long way for them to travel, though. And they need to start pulling it back after a really good start. They beat Watford, they beat Portsmouth. away, but then they had a bit of a torrid time, like you say, against Borough. Lost 2-1, and then Southampton, which I thought they might have given them a bit more of a battle, but that was in the cup, wasn't it? Only last night for us here now. Whereas Blackburn, after Blues beat them and absolutely broke their hearts in injury time, they go away to Hull and get a 3-0 win. So this could be a bit of a juicy fixture, and I really favour Blackburn to build on that and Norwich to struggle again. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Blackburn.
Right, okay, complete reverse then. Interesting. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah, and to be honest, I don't necessarily disagree with any of your points, really. It's on a knife edge for me. It could go either way. You watch it just be a bore draw now. Anyway, next one I've gone for Bristol v Hull. Decent start to the season for Bristol. Twine has done well. I think he's leading for the goal scorer. He's got 3 so far, from what I can tell. To be fair, Ollie McBurney up top for Hull. Hull have also scored a few already, but I do find they leak goals at the back. From what I've seen of Hull, I've said this before, I don't think they're that strong defensively. I think they could be a little bit better, and because of that, also being at home as well, from a Bristol perspective, I'm going 2-1 Bristol City.
I think that these two are much of a muchness at the moment. Yeah, like last week, Bristol got a good draw, I thought, against Derby, who needed to bounce back 1-1. Whereas Hull lost at home to Blackburn 3-0. But they drew earlier on against Cov, no goals, before they started finding their shooting boots, and then another draw against Wrexham 3-3, which was in the Carabao Cup. So it's going to be literally on home advantage for me here. Again, it's a long way for them to travel. Bristol at home in front of the home fans. It's going to be, if it wasn't going to be a draw, it's going to be a home advantage. Bristol winning 1-0.
Okay. All right. Let you lead on this one. Ipswich Town against Derby.
Yeah, now Ipswich really now need to start joining in with the other big boys, don't they? Because they still have that quality, and they're just not doing it at the moment. But they have got such immense quality through their squad, and that manager, which I sound like a parrot again from last week. But when are they going to start getting the results? And the short answer is it's tomorrow. Well, whenever you're watching this, it's going to be this Saturday against Derby. Derby are strengthening. They're getting there, but I think defensively they're weak still.
Yeah.
They need to start clicking. They haven't been getting the results. They're away from home at Ipswich, down in Suffolk. Not going to blame everything on travelling, because let's face it, in the Championship we travel more as fans than anyone else around, like England as such. But Ipswich, I think, are just going to find their shooting boots this week, and they're going to probably score a couple of goals, and it's going to be, I think they'll hold Derby off as well. I think it'll be 2-0 Ipswich.
Okay, I'm really glad. I thought you was going to go for my scoreline then. Yeah, I think Ipswich.
You've gone 2-1, haven't you?
I've gone 2-1. How could you guess? Considering the expectations for both of these sides, I don't think it's been a great start for either of them, to be honest. But I backed Ipswich last week, and they let me down against Preston. So I'm going to double down with them this week, and that's all I've got really. 2-1. Sorry, Derby.
Cracking.
Millwall, Wrexham. Been a steady start for Millwall, apart from the Borough result at home, where they lost 3-0, which would, that's a really decent result from a Borough perspective, going to the Den. Winning 3-0, it's not easy. But as far as Wrexham are concerned, the Championship is taking no prisoners, and at the Den, I feel as though that trend will continue, unfortunately, for Wrexham. So I'm going to go Millwall 1, Wrexham 0.
Interesting. Now, Millwall in the Carabao Cup at home beat Cov, who have been on fire. Now, I haven't seen, but I'm assuming Cov probably fielded a weakened team
Yeah.
like most like Championship teams did. Still managed an away goal, but Millwall did them 2-1. And then obviously beating Sheffield United away 1-0 before, but then before that losing 3-0 to Borough. Whereas Wrexham, we've spoke about Wrexham, struggled a little bit. They sort of give you that hour of football and battling and then sort of die off towards the end, don't they? Which, but that said, they beat Preston 3-2 in the Carabao Cup. High scoring game, so there's goals there, but there's goals against. But there's goals in Preston as well, so I don't know what rabbit warren I'm going down here, but let's make it simple. This is going to be a cracking game. This would be a great game to watch, I think this will. Everything's saying Millwall at home, but I think Wrexham, there's goals in them. I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't a 2-2. It's going for a Desmond 2-2.
Right, okay, interesting. I did not see that coming, but fair enough. Okay, Oxford City v Coventry.
Ouch. Let me find
Just
it
find it
on
on your
my
list.
iPad. Oxford Cov, God, this is another great game, isn't it? I mean, Oxford, we know about them. They've got that battling side to them. I think looking at the FootMob player ratings last week, Dembele played near enough a full game, and I thought he had a good game, but he got the lowest rating of all the players that played, and I think that was an injustice to him, because I thought our fullbacks kept him at bay. We sort of stunted him, but he was still a tricky little player that he is, and this is the sort of thing that Oxford have got to offer now. They've got Ben Davies coming in from Glasgow Rangers, who was on loan at Blues all last season, and I tell you what, you've got a player in Ben Davies there.
Yes.
To think that I think he's only on loan if someone can snap him up. I'm disappointed that Blues didn't take him again. I really thought that we'd have him. So your defence is going to be a different ball game with him in there. It might take him a little while to settle in, but then the goals that's in Cov at the moment, and every game, the games, like even games that they're losing, like in the Cup the other night, they're scoring. Okay, they were away against Millwall the other night in Carabao Cup, but then 7-1 against QPR, 5-3 against Derby, which was away, and then okay, they beat Luton 1-0 in the Carabao Cup before that. Cov are just going to be very strong, but I think Oxford are really going to shut the back doors on them. This is a tough one, this is, and I do mine off the top of my head. I've already been through them, and I will change what I said to myself earlier on, but I am going to go Cov 2-1 away from home.
Okay, I wouldn't hang my hat so heavy on Ben Davies. Good player, yes, but you're forgetting about Ryan Alsop, Christoph Clara, Ethan Laird, Alex Cochrane, Christian Bielik, and all those other top defenders in there. Don't think just Ben Davies on his own will beat enough. And I have had
No, but I think
questions.
it's that winning mentality that comes in, doesn't it? And
True.
what it does for the other Oxford players, thinking that we've got this guy coming in,
Yeah.
and it makes the other players, or it should make the other players around him, whose position maybe he's taking or whose position's under threat, step on.
We'll have to see what happens. Looking back to when we played them, I feel like Oxford offered very little when they played us the other week, and they did go for it, to be fair to them. But looking at Coventry as well, they're going to want to respond. I think you mentioned this with their setback against Millwall, albeit in the Cup. Scoring a lot of goals, Coventry, and just pairing that up with what I see as being Oxford's defensive worries, I've gone for a 3-1 win to Coventry.
Fair enough.
Cheers. Next on my list, Portsmouth v Preston. Portsmouth, decent result against the Baggies away. Preston losing at home to Wrexham was an interesting result, but it's in the Cup again. Probably fielded a weaker team. And, can argue they were unlucky because they lost that game right at the death. I haven't been able to separate these two. I think it's going to be a score draw, 1-1. Have I just gone for what you wanted to say?
Pretty much looking at these.
I can
now,
see your
like
face
I
drop.
say. Yeah, it's a toughie, but do you know what? Preston, they're going to take it to Portsmouth. They're scoring, pretty much scoring every game near enough, aren't they? Whereas Portsmouth have struggled, but like you say, cracking result against West Brom. Scored against Norwich, although lost it 2-1. I'm now going to sway for a team that I think will push on and show promise going through the season against a team that will not struggle but just be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going for an away win, 1-0 Preston.
Right. Okay. Sheffield Wednesday v Swansea. Go on then.
Now, yeah, so Sheffield Wednesday, my God, 1-1 against Leeds. Now that is a derby, isn't it, up there against Leeds in the Carabao Cup? And I think, did they go through on penalties? I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they did. They beat yeah.
So they will be taking all of that momentum through to this game against Swansea in front of a home crowd. Forget what's going on off the pitch for Sheffield Wednesday. That will mean such a lot to them, just to get that winning mentality back again. And then, even so, before that, they got a 2-2 against Wrexham in the Championship then. Sort of makes the Stoke 3-0 loss a bit of a distant memory, and they need to build on that. It's a little bit of pressure off knowing that there's results in them. And Swansea, I don't know how they finished, but it was 1-1, which obviously went through to finishes on the night, didn't it? Do you know how they got on, Swansea against Plymouth? Because that would have been a humdinger.
No, I'm not too sure.
And again, in the Championship last week, they got a draw against Watford. So pretty much of a muchness, although they haven't got as much going on off the pitch at Swansea, but they're away from home. I'm going with 1-0 Sheffield Wednesday.
The exact same points that you just raised. Yeah, I don't think Swansea out of the realms of Wednesday, to be honest. Decent side, Swansea, of course, but even with everything that's going on with Sheffield Wednesday, they're battling every single game that they play, and it's probably giving them a little bit more fire in the belly, all the turmoil that they're in. But now that you've took this away from me, I'm going to stick by it, though. Do you know what? Oh, they're capable of scoring a few as well, Sheffield Wednesday, actually, so it's not too bad. I'm going to go 2-1 then, if you're taking that 1-0 away from me. 2-1 to Sheffield Wednesday. I really do believe that they can do it. It'd be very easy, wouldn't it, every single week, just to assume that Wednesday are going to get battered by whoever they're playing. But they'll surprise us a few times.
There's
no doubt
easy
about it.
predictions in the Championship.
No, anyone
Greatest
can beat
league
anyone
in the world.
Yeah, on their day. And the last one I've got here, Watford v Southampton. And from a Southampton's perspective, they've played some big sides so far, and after a 3-0 win at Norwich, they'll want to keep that momentum going. I don't think Watford have had a bad start to the season, but with Loser suspended, who's been a shining light for them, I think they'll struggle a little bit. So it's going to be an away win, 2-0 Southampton.
Yeah, you've basically just stolen my initial
good. I'm glad I got
thoughts.
revenge.
Because I think Southampton, I think they're going to start pushing on now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, cracking win against Norwich in the Cup, but a loss then to Stoke, who's showing real promise, and a stalemate with someone else that's going to be a contender for the season. But then wins before that, Northampton again in the Cup, and Wrexham before that. Watford, the home team, 1-1 against Swansea last week, but then a win against QPR in another London derby, with a couple of losses prior to that. But I do think that Southampton are going to start showing their bit of promise, and that bit of Prem experience as well is going to shine through. And I think they'll keep a clean sheet against Watford. Although Watford scoring pretty much every game, it's going to be tight. But I'm going, what did you say?
2-0.
So I am going South. Do you know what? No, I'm going to give Watford a goal then, because they are.
You've got no other choice.
Because I haven't got a choice. Yeah. So I'm going to go Watford 1, Southampton 2.
And that concludes it, I think, for this week. Yeah.
Yeah. So
let us know your thoughts on predictions. Do you think that we are chatting out of our backside with some of the things that we've been saying? Just a little bit of fun, I suppose.
That's all it is, isn't it? And let us know who you follow and what you think it'll be and why you disagree with us, or if you agree with us.
Be a lot
It's
of
all a
people
bit of a
disagreeing.
banter, isn't it? Because that's all it is at the end of the day. Without all the other clubs in the league, we wouldn't have anyone to play, and that's what it's about at the end of the day, isn't it? So, yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
It is really tough. It is really, really tough.
You've just got to go with the moment. I mean, I tried writing these down earlier on. I was thinking, and every time I look back at it, I'm like, nah, maybe that.
Yeah.
And that's why I've done it literally ad
Yeah.
hoc as we go.
Sometimes you got to go with your gut feeling, though, haven't you? So let us know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this, please do subscribe and leave a like on the video. And I guess we'll see you next time on the flip side. Take care of yourselves, guys. See you later.